Hi, I am Suren Khirwadkar, the chap who has written this book, History in the Making. This book has 3 essays. One on America, the storming of the US Capitol in January last year. The second essay is about Israel and its quest for a safe, peaceful homeland. And today I am speaking about the third essay, which is on Afghanistan. I have entitled this essay as "Its Past Has Buried Its Future." And there is a reason why I'm saying this. And the reason is that Afghanistan has been called the graveyard of empires by many writers and commentators. So much so that it has now become a cliche. And like all cliches, it is inadequate quite a few times. Because empires don't die a peaceful death to be put in graveyards. They don't die quietly. They die a slow, agonizing, long drawn out, brutal death, taking many collaborators with them. Afghanistan is no exception. History tells us that there have been about 200 empires in the recorded history of mankind. 30 or 40 of these 200 have been significant empires, and the rest have been merely footnotes to the history. My book, History in the Making, has many interesting details about the early empires of Afghanistan. These emperors, they either ruled over Afghanistan or they simply passed through Afghanistan. I would only like to tell you in this video about modern Afghanistan, and you can read more about the earlier empires in my book. Ahmad Shah Durrani, 1722 to 1773, 51 years, is regarded as the founder of modern Afghanistan. Some of you may have seen a painting which was displayed when the Taliban leaders who sat behind the official desk in the presidential palace for the first time after taking over Afghanistan on 15th of August 2021, complete with their AK-47s. That particular painting depicted the coronation of Ahmad Shah Durrani. The Durrani Empire fought many battles with the Marathas and the Sikhs. Raghunath Rao and Madhav Rao, they stretched the Maratha Empire to Peshawar, and some historians have stated that if Madhav Rao had not died at the young age of 27, the history of India would have been quite different. The Sikh Empire was established by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and at its peak in the 19th century, it extended from the Khyber Pass in the west to the Kashmir in the north. The British in 1838 declared war on Afghanistan to install a docile and compliant Shah Shuja Durrani in place of Dost Muhammad Khan, who was giving them trouble. And thus started the great game, as the British called it, or the tournament of shadows, as the Russians called it. In 1839, the British forces captured Kandahar and Kabul and installed Shah Shuja. Afghans and the British fought three major wars in 1839 to 1842, 1878 to 1880, and in 1919. You will find some very interesting details with photos in my History in the Making. The ceasefire agreement signed on 3rd June 1919 was amended because neither side was satisfied with the details of the agreement, and the second treaty was signed in 1921. The treaty affirmed the Durand Line as the boundary between Afghanistan and the British India, which incidentally the Afghans did not accept and do not accept even now. In fact, you may remember that only recently, even after having captured Afghanistan with the help of Pakistan ISI and Pakistan Army, the Taliban troops fought and killed many Pakistani soldiers on the Durand Line because Pakistan wanted to fence that entire Durand Line separating the two countries, and because Taliban don't recognize Durand Line, just like their predecessors did not, they had no qualms about biting the hand that had fed them. Afghanistan became a monarchy in 1926, and it lasted for almost 50 years till 1973. In December 1978, the Soviet President Brezhnev and the Afghan Prime Minister signed a 20-year Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation in Moscow. And that was used as a pretext by Russia, by the Soviet Union, and that led to the 10-year war, 1979 to 1989, between the US, UK, Pakistan, Iran, and Saudi Arabia on one side, and the Soviet-backed Afghan government on the other. The Geneva Accords, signed in April 1988, resulted in the withdrawal of the Soviet troops in February 1989. But that did not end the misery of the Afghans. The Mujahideen and the Afghan government fought 3 wars. The first in 1989, which went on till 1992. The second from 1992 to 1996, and the third from 1996 to 2001. The terrorist attack on the World Trade Towers in New York on 11th September 2001 brought the American empire to Afghanistan. Over 20 years, America spent more than $2 trillion, causing deaths of 157,000 people, and for no gain whatsoever. To put this amount of $2 trillion in proper context, divided by 40 million Afghans, this means that America spent $50,000 per Afghan man, woman and child. And if you take into account the average size of an Afghan family of 6, 8, 10, whatever you like, it would mean that Americans could have given as much as $300,000 or $500,000 to each Afghan family, and instead of destroying them, would have built their lives forever. On 15th August 2021, just about 6-7 months ago, Joe Biden carried out the decision that was taken by Donald Trump to withdraw from Afghanistan, and without any proper planning decided to withdraw in a hurry without even consulting the partners who had helped America fight the wars in Afghanistan. So on 15th August 2021, the US withdrew, and the Taliban, as I said, with the painting of Ahmad Shah Durrani behind their backs, with AK-47 in hand, took over Afghanistan. Happy ending? You gotta be kidding. The Afghan misery continues. Afghan women have been pushed back into servitude. Afghan children have been pushed back into a life of hunger and physical abuse, as the Taliban have celebrated their victory over the mighty America. And what Imran Khan, the Pakistan Prime Minister, chose to describe as Afghans having broken the shackles of slavery. The French have a saying, plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose, meaning more things change, more they remain the same. And if you want evidence of that truism, go to Afghanistan. I hope you have enjoyed this talk. Now, I hope you will read the book, History in the Making. It's only 500 rupees and it's available on Amazon. Buy it today. Thank you.